Alright guys, well we got the body finished, front, back, and sides. Got satin poly on the whole body. Front and sides came out great. Everything is pretty much perfect. I'm super happy with how it came out. The back has a little bit of fisheyeing going on. I believe it's due to my ratio. I thinned out the poly width to be able to spray it in a gun. I'm not really sure, honestly. I haven't really scientifically figured out or measured out the right ratio to be thinning the poly at. You can use like distilled water or even alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I've done both and have had a good result. So I'm not really sure. It's only on the back. You can barely see it, but the front came out great, and that's what matters the most. And yeah, it's time to do some assembly here. So I have another set of EMGs, 8185, and I think they will look great and sound great in this guitar with the black sides and the black pickups. I think it kind of just fits it perfectly. And then all the rest of the black hardware, it's going to look really, really good. So first thing I'm going to do is get these wired up, and then I'll go ahead and get the neck on. We'll get the bridge parts back on. And this thing will be ready to string up and do a little sound demo on. So pretty excited here. Let's get going. All right, well, you heard it in a full mix. Real quick, we'll do just the guitar by itself. We'll go through all three different pickup positions. We're only going to do high gain. I'm going to start at the bridge pickup. No clean today. We're tuned to drop A sharp. Going into the interface using Neural DSP Pleady X. All right, guys, well, we finally got this thing together, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I was a little skeptical during this project. I wasn't sure if I was going to dig it or not. The more I looked at it, the more I started questioning, is this going to look good? But I have to say, altogether, I absolutely love it. Originally, I was not going to change the stock pickups because they weren't horrible. I think they're like a replica Classic 57 set. They weren't too bad, but I figured the EMGs and the thick strings, definitely more my style. So we threw the 81, 85. Still has just one volume, one tone, and a three-way switch. The bridge is stock. Pretty much figured everything out with the bridge, all the problems that we had in the beginning when I first got this guitar. That's pretty much all worked out now. But I'm happy with how it came together. The satin poly looks really, really good. We sprayed a couple coats of that on. The back didn't come out as good as the front. I think, like I had mentioned, my ratio just wasn't didn't really figure out a good ratio for thinning out the water-based poly yet. And the front came out great, but the back has a little bit of fisheyeing in it. You can really not even see it. You'd have to, look up close. But it looks overall really, really good. And I love the way the back looks with the neck. This neck is really, really nice if you ask me. Overall, super nice. I did nothing to the neck. I just kind of rolled the fretboard edges and polished up the frets a little bit. I did end up leveling the frets on this a while back when I first got it. This thing is kind of moving around a lot. It's been apart for a couple months now, so I think putting the thick strings on it and then getting it back together, it's still finding where it wants to be. I've had to adjust the neck a couple times and adjust my action. I may end up shimming the neck with one more piece of sandpaper. I already have one piece in there, just one little piece more towards the neck pickup, just to kind of angle it back a little bit, and I think that'll help a lot. I threw a pack of 12 to 64 GHS 7-string strings on there, and I just took a string away, and they're really good. I wasn't sure if the 64 was going to fit in the hole in the locking piece, but it ended up just barely fitting. And then they didn't have a reinforced set like I've been having to run on this guitar, just because the way the ball end sits in the saddle, it kind of just pulls on it. And what was happening when I first got this guitar is it was unwinding the wind at the ball end and popping the string. So I was running a set of reinforced strings, if you remember watching the review on this guitar, and they didn't have reinforced strings in this gauge. So what I ended up doing was just throwing some solder down here on the wind where the ball end is, and that worked perfectly. I only had to do it on the two non-wound strings basically, and it worked out great. So I think this thing needs to kind of acclimate a little bit more, find where it wants to be. I may shim the neck, do some more adjustments, and it should be fine. Tuning is kind of a little all over the place just because it's just not really settled yet. It was just apart for so long. It's just kind of got to, get used to having tension back on the neck and everything. And plus I have a heater in here that I turn on every so often, so I'm sure the temperature change in here definitely affects, everything staying where it needs to be. But other than that, I'm really happy with how it came out. It was definitely a fun project. This is now the second Eart headless that I've done. And now that I got all the kinks worked out on this guitar, I have it tuned in drop bass sharp, and it just sounds really, really good. The EMGs, obviously, I love EMGs. I have them in a few of my guitars, probably 3 or 4 of them. And for some reason in this guitar, they sound different, which is weird. But it's kind of hard to explain. It just kind of has more of like a twangy, throaty sound. It's hard to explain, but they sound really good. I think they go well with the look of the guitar. And yeah, overall, really, really happy with it. It went back together perfectly fine, and it was a fun project. So that pretty much wraps this one up. Thank you for sticking around through this project series. I think we did, 3 episodes? I don't even remember, but we kept it short. I didn't want to drag it on and do 7 or 8 episodes like we did with the first Eart. So we kept it short. It was a little bit of a wait in between, but I was just doing other videos and other projects. But it's finally done. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Be a good person. Go paint your guitars and have fun. And we'll see you in the next video.